Well, I have the book, but I don't think I learned anything else.
I was going to say, I feel like that was, not a fruitless venture, but not what we were hoping for.
Indeed. Well, I suppose we can go back and try and find Sark. Thank you for coming with me.
Of course, I think I was, at the very least, there for moral support. You seem a little shaken up.
It's... We probably shouldn't talk about it here.
Well, we'll find a spot to speak later. Let's get some move on, then.
Yes. Which way did we go? This way?
I think, yes, this way leads back down to the base.
May have been something you had to activate that you didn't realize, so it played in your favor. Yeah, I don't know the game mechanics enough to look for stuff. But either way, we tried. I think they began to suspect we were up to something.
I think so.
If they did, though, they didn't let on to it too much. It seemed they were fairly comfortable that there wasn't anything to... well, you know, be discovered, I suppose.
Nothing to be found.
Yes.
You know, besides all the other horrific things we saw.
I'm trying to forget. I probably hoped you would attempt a door or something, hence snooping. But because you looked but didn't touch, it didn't work. I didn't see no door. I saw bookcases that were covering up some of the entrances, but we had been on the other side of those. But it's a consequence of me not knowing what I'm looking at, for sure. This isn't quite the right way, I think. Secret doors exist, not all of them have tooltips. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, Aya wouldn't know that. I kind of know that, but... yeah. I could have done better, I guess, but... if anything, that they know you're not handsy compared to others. Yeah, just like testing everything. I would assume any door, like mechanically, I'd assume any door only they could actually mess with. That would be my assumption. Like, I don't think I could have mechanically grabbed the book off the table. Abelard had to hand it to me, and he was very kind to do so. Why am I having trouble with this rock? Here we go. Nope. I can't help but feel like we missed something. But I don't know. I suppose back to Emberfall.
You're back. Again. May the wind guide you. Keep
Where do you think Sark would be right now? Ziggurat? Somewhere else?
He might be at a ziggurat, but I'll be frank, I usually don't end up seeking Sark out that often, so I don't really know his patterns.
Indeed, usually he finds me.
Maybe we'll be lucky and he'll just be conveniently waiting for us, but I doubt that.
Going home to sleep, but you can wake me up. Yes, Xander hasn't finished whatever's going on with this door. I might suggest that he actually move it down there, where the ground is flatter.
I was about to say, is there any real reason to have it,
Well,
besides for
yes.
safety? Big air quotes.
Yes, I mean, it is the road that goes up to... But yes. I wonder if anyone's still here.
Oh, we'll find out shortly.
I'm sure we would hear them talking, were they? All right. We will need to go to the outpost.
All right.
I don't know if this is the right place. This feels a lot longer than... It is. I'm used to traveling from... Not from here. I need a moment to recover.
It's quite all right. Take your time.
She's glitching out hard. Yes, usually I make that trip from where the arena was, not from all the way out at Emberfall. This day took an excellent turn, didn't it? Oh yeah, no, I'm loving the RP right now.
I don't know how it all works. Although I'm slowly getting more and more tired of traveling through teleportory stones.
I don't enjoy it, but it's a very long journey otherwise, and, well, in this case, I don't necessarily know how to find things without them. You know?
Yes, it's one of those things where it's something that I don't fully trust, but it's too convenient not to utilize.
The next jump is through Sarks, and it's very short.
As long as I never have the experience where something touches my leg while traveling through it, we'll be fine.
Has that happened?
Yes, it's happened once, and it's very uncomfortable.
I don't like the sound of that. Do you know what it was?
I have no idea, but it was damp and wet.
That's somehow even more horrible. Are you feeling well enough to travel?
Yes.
I'm stupid. We probably could have traveled through the caravan. I wasn't thinking of it. I will not make that mistake again. No, that is exactly what we should have done. Then we would have only had to make one jump, and it wouldn't have been that difficult. Random encounters while teleporting. Like, you'd suddenly be dumped somewhere and have to fight something off, like a really hard boss. That would be cool. Yes! Harris, we're thinking the same thing. Ziggurat Hill.
There's nothing but.
Just gonna raid his fruit trees for a moment.
To say I'm kind of doing the same thing. Sadly, my darling horse happens to have all my food on him.
I see. Everyone looking at Xaver. Sark? Oh, you're right there.
Yes, this is a very sunny place. Quite nice.
Are you feeling any better? Oh my.
Well, once I got dressed and... Torfir, you're fucking useless.
You've got no chance, mate. Watch your flanks.
Oh, damn it, I forgot to grab my arrows from the...
Yes, I don't have my arrows either because they made me put them away at the tournament.
Yes, and you were using those spider fangs, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Why?
Well, I might have a few sitting around, but, well, that's a later thing.
Hey, Jam!
You look a little pale right now. I started sleeping with some of this,
Yeah, it was fun.
incense here, so at least I can do is offer.
Yes, I appreciate it. I forgot that I could have taken the caravan directly here, and we made the jump through the gate from Emberfall, and I felt quite ill. I will do my best not to make that mistake again. It's the first time I've traveled through, where I was the one leading someone through, and not being led through.
Well, mistakes made and lessons learned. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I'm loving the RP on here right now, Jam. It's
So
been
did you-
so cool.
I'm guessing you, made it up to the tower.
Yes, we were able to make it up to the tower.
Yes, although I fear that we didn't learn anything.
I wouldn't put it past them to actually be hiding whatever it is I saw better.
I did tell them a small lie, though, in order to gain access to the back rooms that they didn't want me to go into.
Really now.
Yes, I said that when you were injured, you had dropped some small totem, and we thought that you had, so we were looking for it.
I suppose I should endeavor to keep one on me at this point, just to, facilitate that then.
Perhaps
Thank you for telling me.
you could claim that you found it elsewhere. You found it outside of Maroon or something along those lines.
Yes, I'll, make sure to file that one away.
I do think that they were sort of suspicious about us, though, near the end. I saw them share some glances. We had to wait for Shaitan to come back around. He had been dealing with some other business. And he was the only one with the
Nice.
keys to the areas that we needed to look through. Although I did look over your book while I was there, and it seems like... Well, you were writing it as you were at the tower, correct?
Well, some of it, yes, but then, walking and writing gets a little difficult. So.
Well, it seemed like it might have been more difficult for you than normal. It seems like you were struggling a great deal just being in the space. I have it here if you want to look at it.
Yes, if I'm going to be making alterations, I might as well.
A lot of great depth. Yeah, no, it's been really fun. And it's really fresh. And the builds, like the creativity and the customization are just insane. It's I played on this server a couple years ago, and it was a lot rougher going, and we had to craft all our cosmetic stuff. So it's really cool.
Yes, I guess I was losing a little bit of self at that point, or it's just, well, I think they call it retrograde amnesia, something about short-term memory loss of events leading up to whatever happened.
Yes.
I do clearly remember Abelard being the one showing me around, though, so whatever it is, I think he would have access. Unless, well, Shaitan did seem a little overbearing at times, so perhaps he's put a little bit of fear into Abelard.
Perhaps. The way they told it was that Abelard was showing you around. So it's strange that Shaitan wasn't there. Shaitan had to give access. Although I will say that the areas we went into, many of them were accessible from the upper floors. Many small spiral staircases around the outside of the building that led into small passageways underneath. They said it was for the servants to get around while they were conducting their experiments.
I see. I don't remember him showing me any of those, though perhaps he was... I don't know. His room did seem like it was off to the side, and... Well... I do suppose I remember a bit of a feeling of weightlessness before everything sort of went out.
Do you think perhaps it was a trapdoor? Because Abelard said, and I quote, "It was like the floor dropped out from underneath him, and he hit his head."
That does seem like he might have had some similar issues to me. I have heard he's got some, memory issues.
Indeed. But I wasn't sure if he just wasn't quite being forthcoming.
Or maybe he was trying to tell you something without actually telling you.
Why would he do that?
Again, if Shaitan has some sort of fear instilled to him, you know, maybe turning him into one of those experiments I saw smushed on the floor.
You think Abelard's under his thumb then? Not an equal partner in their ventures?
It's entirely possible. I mean... But then again, the entire building is meant to be something to Abelard's benefit, isn't it? At least that's what I've understood from it, the descriptions I've been given.
If there was some sort of secret room or trapdoor, it could have been right beneath our feet, and I would have never even known to look for it.
That's entirely fine.
Yes, but I was so close. There was something... Perhaps I could have actually done something. I feel like we made a useless trip.
No, I don't think it was useless. You showed some initiative. You decided to go there, and of that I am very proud. You're taking your first steps of becoming, well, you.
I've done things before, Sark. I'm not some child who...
Well...
It's nothing to be proud of. I'm simply trying to help you.
Yes, and my apologies. I think I might have worded that incorrectly. You've done something for me, and it's the first time you've done so without me really pushing you to it. I mentioned it, and I actually argued against it, but, well, call it a token resistance, but I didn't feel like arguing with you was going to get me anywhere.
No, it would have made me more determined, if anything.
So I saved us both a little bit of time then.
Indeed. And Ronan a headache, likely.
You know, for what was supposed to be a freebie, that was a really horrible adventure.
What?
Well, you can just charge Fi a little bit more for it, right? You said you were putting it under his tab anyway.
Oh my goodness,
I was
I'm
going
skating
to,
around
and I
like...
don't mean by your actions, Io. I just mean that was a little bit more sorcery than I am comfortable with.
Believe me, I
Bodies.
was... I'm still trying not to be sick. I had the most terrible splitting headache halfway through.
I'm
I
just
could
grabbing
tell.
something from Alto. I'll be right back.
Of course. Magic carpet. No. The real magic carpet jam is when you are standing on the carpet and you accidentally grab it while decorating.
At the very least, I think it
Then it will show you the
confirmed my
world.
Suspicions that Shaitan and Boomer, while maybe not an active threat currently, certainly had the capacity to be one.
Indeed. The worst part is he masks it under a bumbling humor. That, or he truly believes his actions to be harmless.
Something to clean and something to help you forget.
Thank you, Sark.
What is that?
A small bonus, that's all.
Oh,
It
I
was
see.
apparently above and beyond what I had initially thought it would be.
Well, apologies
Frank, I
for...
thought I was just gonna go visit some weirdos.
I mean, did you not?
No. There's a fine line between weirdos who have weird hobbies and freaks of nature who are doing things that go against nature itself.
Yes. Well, I don't think we mentioned that part. We came across Boomer, who I hadn't met before. And he was also on his way to the tower, so we all traveled there together.
I'm almost ashamed I didn't give you enough at this point, Ronan.
Don't worry, Sark. I told you it was a freebie. After all, we're all friends here and on the same side.
I see. Well, anyway, I, again, don't think it was a fruitless effort. You did get me back my book, and maybe leafing through it, I can pin a few things together after that session with Lily. I have started to gain a little bit of recollection, but...
Very good. I will note, Abelard looked... And I don't know if this is just because he's eccentric or otherwise. He looked quite devastated when I asked for the book back.
Well, I'll return it, obviously.
Yes, well, that is
You
what
said I was going to.
we said that you needed to make corrections.
Yes, which I do, though perhaps I can make them in a different book.